Hey everybody, this is Cynic25 here, bringing you another deck profile, and this time we're profiling 8 Malicious Spam. Now, if you guys will notice, this deck profile is actually a little bit similar to the zombie build I posted a while back, in the sense that the same goal is to, well, get Malicious into the grave as quickly as possible and make your 8 plays. But this deck actually does it a lot faster, and this deck was created out of the desire to essentially improve this whole Malicious Spam and make it as quick as possible. This deck, in my opinion, has two parts. The first part is to, well, abuse Malicious as hard and as fast as possible, whereas the second part is to essentially protect what you got onto the field and win the game from there. And it does it pretty well. So with that being said, let's get into the cards, and I'll give you guys a rundown on why I chose them. So, yeah, we got 2 Trag here. This is a really versatile card in the deck. It's a Dark for Dark Arm. If you get it onto the field, it can copy Malicious and make it a 6, and then just emergency teleport Krebons, and you have another 8 there. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. I mean, at the very worst, you can tribute for Malicious if you really need a way to get it out of your hand. So there's tons of things you can do with Trag, and it just works pretty well in the deck. The one obligatory Dark Arm Dragon, because everything here is dark, and well, it just makes a deck really good. So nothing else really needs to be said there. Now, the 3 Malicious, which is really the heart and soul of the deck, you want to get this into the grave as hard as possible, and there's many ways to do it. You know, between your Dark Greffers, between your Armageddon Knights, between your Foolish Burials, between your Evolvable Chains. There's just tons of ways to get Malicious in the grave, and it's just really easy and quick. The one Dark Greffer, again, it fixes the deck's problems. It gets Malicious out of your hand if you need it, helps dump more cards if you need it, and it's just an overall good card. 2 Mizuki, which is here mainly for Plague Spreader, because I'm still running the Plague Spreader engine alongside Krebons. Again, it's also another target to dump into the grave with the amount of dump potential this deck really offers. The one Armageddon Knight and Summoner Monk engine, which is this engine is absolutely incredible. So like if you open up Summoner Monk and you have a spell to pitch, like you pretty much can just go off next turn. It's just absolutely incredible. Like you just dump like an MST or something, you get Armageddon Knight onto the field, and then you proc Armageddon Knight's effect to get Malicious into the grave. You make a Evolvable Chain, get Plague Spreader in the grave, and you're just ready to go. So this Summoner Monk just really gets the engine started, which is great. The 2 Krebons, I'm only running 2 here because I'm still running the Plague Spreader engine, and I just felt like 3 was a little bit much, so only 2 Emergency Teleport alongside that. The 2 Plague Spreader, again, it's just great. It comes out of the grave, and it's great when you pair it with Mizuki, and it just helps you make your 8s with Malicious even more. 2 Effect Valor. Now this begins the control, I guess, element of the deck, in the sense that sometimes people's only out to Beazle is 101, and being able to stop those 101s from going off is crucial. So that's why I'm running a lot of things to stop effects like Fiendish Chain and Effect Valor. But aside from that, going into the spells, we have 12 here, so a lot of targets for Summoner Monk. The 1 Dark Hole, the 1 Soul Charge, the 1 Foolish Burial, the 2 Potted Duality. Now this card is actually really good. It has a lot of versatility. Helps you get to your pieces quicker, because sometimes you just need one missing piece to really go off, and Potted Duality helps you get that piece. Also, if you really want to go off and you're a Summoner Monk, you can just pitch this card. If you don't want to have the special summon penalty, you just use it for Summoner Monk. But other than that, it helps you get through control elements late game, which is nice, and it's just an overall versatile card. It helps with the deck's consistency. The 2 MSTs, because this deck hates back row, 1 Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Lance again for back row, the 2 Emergency Teleport to get your Krebons onto the field and just pair it with Malicious and go off. Trap lineup, we got the staples, we got the safe zone. Now this is also another control element, because a safe zone Beazle is really, really tough to get around. And sometimes, like, even when people get around it, like with an MST, Beazle doesn't die, because safe zone actually destroys the monster and Beazle can't be destroyed. So it's just, a safe zone Beazle can't be 101, then it's just absolutely incredible. And if you pair this with a Stardust Spark Dragon, which protects safe zone, your opponent is going to have a hell of a hard time getting around Beazle. So it's a nice like pseudo lock that this deck has. 2 Fiendish Chain again for more control. 2 Wiretap, just because again this deck hates back row, but you have a lot of ways to get around back row between the 2 Wiretap, the 2 Forbidden Lance, the 2 MSTs, and even the 2 safe zone potentially. So you can generally get your plays off. It's pretty smooth. Going into the extra deck here, we got the obligatory Beazle, which I'll probably bump up to 2, the 1 Void Orb Dragon, the 1 Crimson Blader, the 1 Scrap Dragon, Stardust Spark Dragon, Black Roach Dragon for the off chance I, Effect Valor on Malicious and just make a 7. 1 HTS Simuth, 1 Beast God Vulcan, 1 M7, 1 Strike Bouncer, 1 Gauntlet Launcher, 1 101, the Evolvable Chain, and the Cowboy. So yeah, this is the deck profile. It's really quick. It's a lot faster than pure zombies. It gets the job done quicker. I feel like it's about as consistent, if not more consistent. And with the Trag engine going, it even has some life after Malicious is dead, because once Malicious has been used up, this deck has a hard time making easy 8s, and Trag really helps you do that, because it can copy the last Malicious in the grave, and then you can use that emergency teleport to just sync out for another 8 from there. So there's a lot of cool, really neat things you can do with this deck, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So again, feel free to leave any comments in the section below. If you anything I can improve the deck, I'm constantly updating it, but I feel like this is a pretty solid build at the moment. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and take care.